A Converted Man here. What is atheist? It shouldn't be that hard. It's a word. It's a label. It's not a bird or a plane. It's not Superman. It's not a worldview, but apologists just can't seem to get it right. 2 months ago, one particular theist uploaded a video that a couple of big YouTubers responded to. I say big, well, one big YouTuber and one medium-sized YouTuber. I don't know the sizes of the YouTubers. Regardless, it's called the Hypocrisy of Atheists, and Logic and The Sound of Science both responded to it, and perhaps some other people did as well. And you know what? It's not worth covering again. Basically, this nitwit says a bunch of things about atheists that aren't true. So I thought, you know what? Maybe they just don't know what the word atheist is. I mean, it is on Google, sure, but like you can't trust Google. It could be wrong. Sure, Wikipedia says what it is, but who can believe that? I mean, sure you could get it from Oxford Dictionary, and like, well, you could go to the American Atheist, or you could like, go to this Pew Review Center, or like you could look up the meaning here. But who could trust any of that? Just because it's online doesn't mean it's true. So, you know what? I'm an atheist. Well, maybe you can trust me. Probably not. But it's pretty simple. Atheist is just a label. Unlike a specific religion label, it cannot and will not tell you anything else about the given individual that applies that label to themselves. In a similar vein, the word theist doesn't tell you much about a person either. It's not a worldview. Just saying that you're a theist doesn't tell me anything at all, other than you believe in God, or multiple gods, or maybe you think God is actually really real and it's more than just a belief, depending on how you phrase it. And, well, in contrary to that, atheist, not God, without God. But it's not the opposite. And I think apologists sometimes, who knows how much, but get this wrong, either deliberately or out of sheer ignorance. But whenever they do it, they create a straw man, either knowingly or unknowingly. There's a phrase that goes something like, don't attribute to malice what you can attribute to ignorance. But with some of these apologists, I'd rather reverse that phrase and say, no, it's malice. They know better. It's a straw man. Atheism is not a worldview. It is perhaps part of a worldview, but is not and cannot be a worldview because it doesn't prescribe, it simply describes. But for whatever reason, a lot of theists / apologists online just get this wrong, like a lot, like a whole lot. The number of times I've had to say straw man when correcting somebody about what atheism is, it's over 9,000 by now. In fact, I'm working on a video where I'm going to be saying that a whole lot. Straw man, straw man, straw man. All because the person wants to define atheist in a certain way, but the definition is twofold. To not believe in God, or to say there is no God. Either way, that's what an atheist is. They don't want to accept that, though, but that's what the word is. So, it doesn't mean that we have any belief. Doesn't mean we're a naturalist or a materialist. It doesn't mean that we're a secularist or a humanist. It doesn't mean that we're an anyist other than the atheist. It does not tell you anything. It doesn't tell you how we think or how we feel or what we believe in. It only tells you what we don't believe in. Now, some have said, and I sure will continue to say, but you don't call yourself an a-leprechaunist. Nobody calls themselves an a-zombieist. Nobody bothers to say they're an a-fairyist or a goblinist or whatever. Why is it that people have to label themselves as this? Well, because there's a lot of people that believe in God and they're called theists. So there has to be a label for the non theist. Yes, there are some people that believe in fairies. Very, very few people. But yes, there are still people that believe in the fae folk. Usually this is in Ireland, parts of Scotland, and usually it's the older generation. The belief is kind of dying out. But there might be a newer generation that picks up on it because it becomes trendy to do so. Or some random person might pick up on the belief because it is an outlying belief and believing in it makes them feel special. But it's pretty much confined to particular regions and a very small handful of people actually believe. So few that it's not worth having an fairyist label. Now, I don't know when that threshold is crossed. I don't know how many people it would take before there would have to become an atheist group of people or whatever. I don't know that we would do that, but we might. But I think that broadly speaking, you just are, I don't know, a fairy denier but that doesn't sound right because to deny implies that something is really going on. So I don't know. There are more flat earthers than there are people that believe in the fae folk, more than likely. But there's not enough flat earthers to have a flat eartherists. People usually are just against flat earthers. I guess you could say anti-flat Earth if you wanted to, or positive globe. I don't know. There doesn't really seem to be a label that's appropriate or applicable in this sense. But if enough people thought that the Earth was flat, then there might just have to be a label developed to say no to that label. And again, I don't honestly know what that number is or how many humans have to think that something is before a label is necessary to be a thing. Now, what motives people may or may not have is pure speculation. I can't get into the motives of people that knowingly strawman what atheist is. And you kind of know that they have to know, but you don't really know that they know. You can just infer that they know. It's like you've been around a while, so you've heard that the word atheist doesn't mean what you're saying, right? Well, or they're just ignorant. Either way, it's not a good look. So either they're ignorant or they're lying. They'd probably take ignorant rather than lie. Okay, so fine. Atheist means don't believe in God. Whatever God is. Now, what is God? I don't know. What do you think God is? Because that's not for me to define. I don't believe in it. It's like, well, then, but why do you not believe in it if you don't even know what it is? Well, because I don't believe in a lot of things that I don't know what they are. It's not a matter of understanding. It's a matter of just I don't even know what the bleep you're talking about. So no, I'm not actively believing in it. I suppose you could say I'm not actively disbelieving in it if I don't really know what it is or if I've never heard of it. But I think it's fair to say that when it comes to the word God, enough has been said about it for me to generally say no to most of the ideas of gods that are out there. I don't believe in that. Broadly speaking, maybe you have a version of God that I have never heard of, and then there is other questioning that would have to come to follow that up with. But maybe some apologists just need atheism to be the opposite of their religion. If their religion prescribes a worldview, then atheism must therefore be like their religion and also prescribe a worldview. but it has to be the opposite of theirs. Well, we believe in objective morality. You guys have to believe in subjective morality. We believe in life after death. You must believe in not life after death. We believe that people are important. You must believe that people are unimportant, and so on and so forth. And that's not necessarily the case, because every individual topic is up to the individual. Free thinkers. That comes hand in hand with atheism to some extent. But you don't have to be an atheist and call yourself a free thinker, because there's no rules. It's not a world view. What it isn't is more than what it is. What it is simply a description of a stance on a single position. Do you believe in God? If your answer is no, you're an atheist. If your answer is, I don't even know what the belief God is, you might be an atheist. If your answer is, depends what God is, you might be an atheist. So, depending on your answer to that question, you're probably an atheist if you say no. There's also atheist. There's also the label skeptic. There's, of course, agnostic. And, of course, there's an agnostic atheist, Gnostic atheist, agnostic theist, Gnostic theist, strong theist, weak theist, strong atheist, weak theist. And it can get complicated really fast. But for those looking to be very simple in their language, if you are an apologist or a theist and you are saying atheist, fill in the blank, you're more than likely about to commit a straw man. Because the only thing that you can say about atheist or atheism is that they don't believe in God. You can't say that they're naturalists. You can't say that they're materialists. You can't say anything without evidence. Now, if you took and did or found a survey of atheists that asked their views on a given subject, then you could say, according to this survey that surveyed X amount of people, this is the percentages within that group of atheists that thought Z was true or false or whatever. And that would be something. But typically, I have found that theist apologetics don't bother with citing any sort of surveys of that nature. It's easier to just say, well, atheists believe whatever, without demonstrating that atheists do in fact believe whatever. And if you're an individual and you are an apologist for a particular religion, I would like you to really ask yourself, what is the goal of your apologetics? Because there's the stated goal, which I don't buy into, which is, well, it's to defend the ideas. Okay, but is that it? Just defend the ideas? Then you don't ever need to talk about atheists then. You just defend your ideas from whatever arguments that come against it. But I find there could be problems in apologetics, because your idea could be wrong and you should allow for your idea to be wrong. In fact, maybe instead of doing apologetics, you should try to falsify your idea instead. That might be a better way to find out if the idea is actual or not. When you try to falsify many religions, well, you soon find that that religion is just false. It's a myth, it's a belief, and people hold it, but beyond that, that's it. There's not much for it other than that. But unless you try to falsify your idea, you're not going to get to that conclusion. Because if you're so busy trying to defend your idea, then it's going to seem like that idea is true, even if it isn't. So, apologists, and usually apologists has come to mean Christian apologists for whatever reason, but apologists could be applied to a number of things. If you are interested at all in attempting to talk to or converse with atheists, then do that and stop strawmanning them. If you want to make videos about atheism, then go in with the correct version of what atheism is and stop strawmanning it. If you want to talk about atheists, stop strawmanning atheists because we're tired of it. We're just tired of it. We're sick and tired of it. And all it's going to do is push us further and further away from wanting anything to do with you and possibly your religion. So cut it out already. Sadly, I think that for many out there, this will fall on deaf ears. The apologists will say, no, no, no. You have to be a materialist if you're an atheist, or you have to be a naturalist, or it means this. It has to mean that. You can't think that there's objective morality if you're an atheist. Yes, you can. Oh, no, no, no. You can't really think that. Yes, no, you really can think that. You can't think that there's a life after death. Yes, you can. You can't believe in a soul or a spirit. Sure, you can. You could even believe in the devil, and you would still be an atheist. Now, with my limited subset of interactions with atheists, which is a very small number of people and should not be considered a data set, that appears to be that those atheists that I've interacted with typically do not believe in an afterlife, a soul, a spirit, and typically go towards science as a way to figure out what is or isn't going on in the real world, but not always. There are always exceptions, but broadly speaking, that seems to be the case. But that's only the handful of people that I've interacted with. If I was going to make a video where I said atheists, then I would need a wide scale study to support whatever it is I was about to say. And until you apologists start doing citations on that, you will continually do your straw man and just make us shake our heads at you and walk away. As an example, one need to only read what's on that Catholic's page on that particular video for an example of what goes on when you don't do that. Let's check it out here. Let me pull it back up for you. The hypocrisy of atheists. Oh, what a lovely title, sure. All right, so let's go. Okay, so check out. Let me zoom in. Zip. Okay, all right. Zip. Get a little bit closer here. Now, I don't understand how you can call the video The Hypocrisy of Atheists while at the same time telling a group of people that you don't know what they believe. I think we could trust people to understand their own brains and thoughts better than someone who isn't inside their head does. Not entirely sure you've even interacted with an atheist in real life based on the straw man and pretty much straight up lying you did about the atheist position. But you do you, man. Incredible straw man. Truly impressive demonstration of brain rot. I find it a bit hilarious how some apologists make the argument if you don't know everything there is to know about reality. It's hilarious because that's an argument for being an atheist, not against it. Okay, so that's, if you don't understand how atheism works, just say that. I'm not sure what FFS stands for. Fucking fickle shake? I don't know. I always find it so productive to listen to an arrogant person tell me what I believe instead of asking me what I would believe. No wonder you have no idea what an atheist is. If you had any friends, and your credible dishonesty would have run them off. If you're an atheist, unlike a believer, you don't believe that we are in any way special as human beings. Not the fastest I've ever saw someone kill their own argument in a video by demonstrating complete lack of grasp on terminology, but it's close. Atheism makes no case for the special nature of humans or any other species, bruh. Wow, as a lifelong atheist, I've long been a fan of being told what I believe. It's not even slightly annoying. Video title: Hypocrisy of Atheists. Video contents: The Hypocrisy of a Christian. Video lacks any semblance of self-awareness. And it goes on. So, this isn't the only video like it. There's been many more in the past, and I'm sure there will be those to come. But it's really not that hard. And it's either extraordinary ignorance or utter malice on their part to continue strawmanning what atheist is. And at this point in my career of being a jaded atheist skeptic / atheist online, well, I think I have to add to my jadiness just a little bit more and say that I'm going with malice. They know what atheist means, and they're just strawmanning because it makes their not enough quotes in the world argument seem valid when it isn't, and it can't be. Oh, FFS is for fuck's sake. Okay, got it. Cool. All right, so there you go. That's it. It shouldn't be that hard, but I don't know why it's such a thing. I don't know. It's deliberate on their part. That has to be my conclusion at this point. If you've been on, you can't be on this ignorant. It's just beyond belief that you could still be this ignorant. But maybe you could be. I don't know. So hey, apologists, stop strawmanning atheism. All right, thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time in the next video where I point out how many times the theist strawmans atheism.